Today I am so blessed and so excited to have this absolute babe, Cassidy Krygger, here today. She is an actress, she's a filmmaker, she's a producer. She actually has her own production company called Daisy Productions. Also a social media manager, Insta coach.
About 2 years ago, I went viral on a reel. Ariana Grande somehow found it and liked it and followed me. Ryan Reynolds shared my post. Lindsay Lohan shared my post overnight. I'm like, okay. So I was sitting watching the football and my left eye, whenever I would move it, would hurt. It was getting worse and I was starting to go blind in my left eye. I went to the optometrist and he goes, you have to go to the emergency room straight away. I'm put straight in and I'm surrounded by doctors and nurses. I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? He looks behind my eyes and he goes, is there a history of MS in your family? And I'm like, no. I said, why? He goes, oh, no reasoning. About 2 months after I was diagnosed, I thought to myself, it was like a fork on the road. I'm either going to fight this and make a better person from it, or I'm going to give in. I thought, fuck it, I'm going to fight it.
Sex isn't just about procreation.
Yes.
Sex is actually about enjoyment. Sex is about feeling the connection with people and whatever that looks like for you. It can literally be about anything.
Yes.
And it's like, it's just sex. In my experience, they want a woman who can like take care of the house and earn all the money and have a great career. But as soon as you have a great career or you're doing really well, it's like that it just dims their shine, or they take it as like a emasculation thing. And it's, yes. Hey guys, I am so excited for today's podcast episode. I have the beautiful Cassidy Krygger, who is founder of Hollywoodland Photos and Daisy Productions and a myriad of other things. She's also going to talk to us really candidly about life with chronic illness and all of these incredible things that she's doing. So I hope this is a good one for you and enjoy. This podcast is being recorded on Wadawurrung land. We pay our respects to the traditional custodians of this land, our country, and elders past and present. I am Cait Muir, and thanks for tuning into this week's episode of Tell Me About It podcast. And today I am so blessed and so excited to have this absolute babe, Cassidy Krygger, here today. So you sent me a message yesterday, 7 years ago. Today was actually our first day of working together.
Oh, isn't that crazy?
It's crazy.
7 years.
And also couldn't have timed in better for today's podcast too. But you came and worked for me in a like administration and media capacity with me, and the outgrow was very quickly. And now you're doing all the wonderful things. And yeah, I'm just really excited and grateful to have you here.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Worries. So if you guys don't know Cass, you should absolutely get on and follow her. She's just kind of like a doer of all the things. She's an actress. She's a filmmaker. She's a producer. She actually has her own production company called Daisy Productions. I loved that you wrote in your thing that you're a Hollywood nerd because we love a nerd burger.
Yes. I actually wrote that in my original resume to you. That was a nerd burger. So I can't believe it's come back up again.
And founder of Hollywoodland Photos, which we're going to get into as well. And you're also a social media manager, Insta coach. You do heaps of like online media things that is just well beyond my depth. And you're just kind of a doer of all the things.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I love that.
Just hearing about it. I'm like, oh God.
I know. I always think I'm like, oh my God, I do so much. And then I'm very humbled by people like you who just have like 97 things on the go. But I also find it really inspirational. So I think you're amazing, and I'm so excited to pick you apart today.
Yay.
I think I want to just kick off. I obviously follow all your articles and things as they come up. I love that we've stayed in touch for so long, and we kind of just cheer each other from the other side of the country like, yay girl, love what you're doing. But the GT magazine described you as Geelong's Margot Robbie.
I know. It was on the cover of the Geelong Advertiser. It was a picture of me with our Margot Robbie, and I was like, oh my God, please don't.
Oh, did they actually have Margot with you?
Yeah, no, it just said, it was a picture of me laughing,
Margot Robbie.
And it says our Margot Robbie. I was like, I hope people don't think I've said that about myself. I did not. I did not. It was so embarrassing.
It's awesome though. I love
an honour.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, whoever doesn't want to be compared to Margot is, I think, the best thing ever. But and I think from that, these articles and a lot of these things really started to come to fruition when you had released your incredible movie, Daisy.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about it.
So
what's the story about?
Yeah, okay. So Daisy is based on the true story of my great-grandparents. Daisy was a very wealthy Catholic woman in the 1930s. She was in her early 20s. And Charlie, her husband, was a very poor Protestant farmer. And they met in Bendigo.
Like rival religions.
Yes.
And completely different classes.
Yeah, so completely different, financial aspects, completely different religions. So we don't really actually know how they met, but somehow they met and fell in love and secretly. and Daisy fell pregnant out of wedlock with my grandmother.
Shocking.
Yes, which in that time was a big scandal.
Yeah.
So when she told her very strict Catholic parents that she was pregnant at 23 without a ring on her finger, they were fuming and kicked her out of the house. And she was left out on her own. But her and Charlie were a complete love match, and they ended up getting married very quickly. She was 3 months pregnant when they got married, and she gave birth to my nan, Norma, my very much beloved grandmother, Norma. And then when Norma, the baby, was 6 months old, Daisy got pneumonia and passed away at 23. So
it was a different time. It's kind of hard to fathom, isn't it? Like 23 years old getting something like that, like something you can now just pop in a hospital. They drug you up and you usually come out.
I've had pneumonia 3 times in the past 2 years.
Oh my God, careful, babe.
So I keep ending up back in hospital. But I keep, I recover from it. But Daisy. Yeah.
And why do you feel so connected to Daisy? Because it's been obviously the title, like you've got Daisy Productions, you've obviously named your movie and created a movie around her. Like it's a big part of your life. She's a big part of your life.
She is. I think I always knew about her growing up. And then when I started to get older and start to have a life myself and look at Daisy and realize that she was so young. I mean, 23 is no age
wild,
at all.
Isn't it?
And
I was dying in an oval somewhere from drinking too much vodka at 23. Like I just, it's.
I was working for you at 23.
Oh, stop that.
So I think I just felt this deep connection to her because she's kind of like the matriarch of my family. We have such a big family, but she only had one child and she's dead in Bendigo in a cemetery, just fading away. And it just never sat right with me.
Yeah.
And I think
it's a beautiful way to honour her.
And I think I always have a fear myself of dying and fading away to history. I want to make a mark. And she didn't get a chance to make her mark. So this is my way of giving her that chance.
I love it. I think it's pretty fair to say you're absolutely making your mark.
Oh, thanks.
And it's not just a short film. Like I actually had written down that I could find 13 awards on it, but you wrote it, you executive produced it, you starred in it, you are the lead role, and you also won 20 awards.
Yes, we won 20.
It's insane.
Yes.
I think that really needs to be celebrated. I think you don't celebrate yourself enough and what it is that you do and what it is that you achieve, and I just want you to sit in that. And it was a contender for Best Short Film at the ACTA Awards as well.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
That was so exciting.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is. I think I don't think about it. I'm very humble.
Absolutely.
So I don't really think about it too much, and I always expect more of myself, which I think is a problem. I'm like, well, it's not the Academy Awards.
I think
that's my issue. I'm like, well,
I think it's like a double-edged sword. It's really funny. I was talking to you before we started recording today, and it was just like, I feel that all the women in my life are like high-flying women doing multiple things, multiple projects, all these things on the go, and we do so much, and it's this double-edged sword of like, we never feel good enough, so we're always striving for better.
Yes, that's it.
But it's also like we could also just stop to just forget to sit in the moment and be mindful and like celebrate what we achieve.
Yeah, I should do it more because I don't. I'm always just like, well, what's next? What am I doing now? So, yeah.
Totally. And it's kind of cool too because you're always like, oh my God, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? It's like, can you just enjoy this for 5 minutes before you're just always focusing on the next?
Yes, you're right.
But you did that.
It's been huge and it's opened up so many doors for me and people are actually taking notice of me as a filmmaker now and as an actor. It took 20 years to get here. So,
I think that's another thing too is like, and it happens to so many people where they just like, oh my God, but it's like an overnight success. It's like, yeah, but it took 20 years to get to that overnight success.
Yeah.
I didn't just wake up one day, write a film, and it just did really well. It was like the planning, the writing, the actors, everything.
Took so long and took me so long to even get to the point where I'm like, because I grew up acting. I grew up as an actor. So I wasn't a filmmaker at all, but it took so long to get to the point where I'm like, no, I want to actually kind of make my own work and have more freedom and more control. So that took a long time to get to, and then it takes so long to make a film. People don't realize it's a lot of work. Even if it's a short film like Daisy, it's
oh my God, it was a beautiful 30 minutes, I'm going to tell you.
Thank you.
Where was the house that it was filmed?
Bowen Park Mansion.
I had a feeling it was that. I remember when they sold it many years ago and I walked through it and it was just like incredible.
It's stunning. It's a character of itself, and that's why, I mean.
Was it similar to their house that they had? No. That's right. You're allowed to have a little bit of film.
A bit of dramatic license. I think Daisy's parents would be very impressed with their house.
Yeah,
you've
made us look really good in the movie.
Thank you so much. They were wealthy, but not that wealthy.
Yeah.
With dramatic lives.
Well, 1930s wealth. It was
States.
different to today's wealth, I guess, wasn't it? And did I read somewhere that you're thinking about doing like an expanded version or extending on it more?
We're making it into a feature film. So
Oh my
because
God,
her story is so
amazing.
long and from the beginning when they met to when she ultimately passed away, it's so much happens in it.
And it's kind of like you think that's like the pivotal moment in her life, but actually the fact that she passed so young and everything else that went on, there's actually so much more to her, even in her
so
short
much more.
few years of life.
And I think it speaks so much to, you know, how women were so suppressed. We still are today, but you know, even more back then. It's a really beautiful love story, but at the same time, it's really, it talks a lot about society and religion and money and how that all kind of plays into life, which is still very much a thing today.
I was going to say it's really funny because you look back in like that time and it was so classist and it was so like you could only marry people within your religion, within your wealth class, within whatever. It had to be like approved by your parents. Like you couldn't do anything pre-marriage. And also even the expectation, which must be such a funny contrast for you now being like such a working woman and like such an independent woman.
Yeah.
The expectation was that women are the ones that stop work, stop their lives, be the homemakers, deliver the babies, and then the man goes and works and gets all the career opportunities in the world.
But also what I wanted to talk about is sex pre-marriage in that era, because women after World War I were very kind of liberated in a lot of ways. So a lot of women were having sex outside of marriage. Both my great-grandparents
Mad
on my
bitches,
mum's side,
go get it, girls.
were both pregnant when they were married in their 30s. And if you even look at Hollywood films of that era before I get nerdy here, but before the code came in, those Hollywood films were very sexual. These people were very sexually liberated, and we don't think about it that way. So I want the film to kind of touch on that too.
It's kind of weird too. I feel like we just go in like ebbs and flows. Like, you know, people were so sexually liberated also through like the 70s and 80s, and then all of a sudden it's gone back to being like this really taboo thing, and now it's right out there again. And it's like people have kind of understood the difference that there's not just like sex isn't just about procreation. Sex is actually about enjoyment. Sex is about, you know, feeling the connection with people and whatever that looks like for you. It can literally be about anything. And it's like, it's just sex.
It's just sex. It's not the end of the world.
100%. But yeah, I love that you've had, it actually leads perfectly into one of my points here, which is you have had a lot of really inspirational women in your life in very different capacities. And tell me a little bit about some of your faves, because I know that you've like also very contrasting women in your lives, very different people. Like it's beautiful.
Oh, well, I grew up without men in my life. So I grew up without a dad.
Lucky
my dad.
bitch. No, I should have said
No, literally true. My dad was. He might listen to this. I hope so.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
So I grew up with a very strong single mother who, you know, worked and raised me by herself. And
you're still extremely close with her, aren't you?
Very lucky to be very close to my mum. I know it's not something everyone has, but my mum is superwoman, and I'm so grateful for her. And I grew up with aunties that surrounded me, you know, my mum's sisters who were strong women that were out working or just forces of nature.
That's incredible.
I literally just grew up around strong women. I feel so blessed. I really do. There was no men in my life growing up that were inspirational to me. There were none. And, you know, well.
Do you know what's kind of funny about that? I was talking to one of my friends. This is probably going to be a bit of a tangent here, but I was actually talking to one of my friends the other day, and like a lot, like I'm 35. You're now 30.
30, yeah.
But the women in my life compared to the men in my life is like chalk and cheese.
Yeah.
So many of my friends are still single. A lot of them, we have friends with kids and stuff like that, but most of our friends are like still single or still just in relationships or just married. And that's amazing. We're married. And it's like, but the women are the ones that like high-flying careers, own properties, good savers, doing all the things that they want. And to be honest, the men that they date and the men that are those age and the men that they go out with are not doing too much.
Yes.
Pissing their money up the wall. Yes. Just working any old job. Like I just feel like the girls are taking over, and it's bloody beautiful.
And it's hard to find a man that's kind of living that kind of same lifestyle as you. Like I'm very much career focused and have a lot of goals that I want, and it's so hard to kind of find a man that's, and I'm not shitting on men at all. I love men. Men are awesome.
Same.
But I'm struggling to find somebody to build a relationship with because this sounds so up myself, but
I love it.
The moment we talk on the apps, and the moment we get off the apps and go on Instagram, they just disappear. And I'm like, is it because I'm ugly?
No. Oh my God. We all know it is not that. That's pretty bloody clear to see.
Here? It's
really
so
funny, isn't it?
strange.
I was single for 6 years between my last marriage and getting with Cam, and I dated somebody for 9 months with him, and he was beautiful, great human, all the things. Yeah. And we're still really great friends till today, but I also dated like some absolute painful people in there. And it's really funny
not.
because what I found in my experience, and it sounds like what's very similar to your experience, is like they want a woman who can like take care of the house and earn all the money and have a great career. But as soon as you have a great career or you're doing really well, it's like it just dims their shine or they take it as like a emasculation thing. And it's, yes.
I'm like, no, I no, please.
Your person's out there.
Oh, he better be.
Yeah, he will be. Where were we up to?
I don't know.
Oh, you were talking about the inspirational women.
Oh.
Yeah, you're an inspirational woman to me and to so many people, and I love that. But I love that you've been surrounded by strong women. I think that's something that a lot of people miss out on, and I think it's something a lot of people, really value now in their lives.
Yeah, I mean, my strongest woman in my life is my mother. I mean, I watched her, raise me by herself. And especially when I was a teenager and in my 20s, let's be real, I have not been an easy child to have. So
easy children are boring. Let their freak flag fly.
So I really...
Why do you say you haven't been an easy child?
Because, when I was a teenager, I had severe anxiety issues and I was homeschooled. And
actually, that's my next point on here. So tell me a little bit about that if you're comfortable talking about it.
Yeah, I'm an open book.
Yeah, same girl.
So when I started high school, I had a hard time adapting. I went from a really cute, fun primary school to a really big, scary high school. And
down on the coast?
No, I grew up in Melbourne.
Oh, that's right. I did know that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I went from like this tiny, pretty inner city primary school to like this big, scary, drugs. I was being offered drugs in year 7. I was like, what is going on here?
Oh my God. I grew up in a very low socioeconomic area. And
this was Strathmore though. It wasn't even like, it was like a nice area.
We grew up in like the street where it didn't matter what you wanted, you could get it.
Yeah, but this was like under the bridge. I'm like, what is going on at Strathmore Secondary College? And one of my aunties passed away quite suddenly the week I graduated primary school.
Oh, perfect.
And I had just spent the weekend with her. And like all of a sudden she died. She had a heart attack and died at 53.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it was.
That's horrible.
She was one of my favorite people of all time. So I had that plus leaving primary school. It was a lot happening. And I just started in the year I got my period as well. So all the teenage hormones
just everything's
were flying
happening
at me. And so they first called it school refusal. I just refused to go to school, which it was not. I was not refusing to go to school. I was dying to go to school.
I was grieving.
Yeah. And then I got diagnosed with severe social anxiety disorder.
Right.
And we had like the Royal Children's Hospital involved and all that. And the head of psychology at the Children's Hospital said to my mum, how did he word it? He practically said she's going to live at home, be a hermit and not leave the house. Like, so just expect it.
Yeah, that seems like you today.
Yeah. Yeah. Just expected it to be, live a sheltered life practically. And mum was like, over my dead body. Over my dead body.
Yeah.
That's not happening. That's
and
not
there
my
again,
daughter.
isn't it? Women being the solutions people.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
You can try and put her in a box, but that's not where she's going to stay.
No, that's not my daughter. I did not have her for this. That's what we moved up here. We moved from Melbourne to here to start fresh and give me like somewhere to, be free as opposed to Melbourne, which was very much.
To flourish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So severe anxiety really throughout my teen years until my early 20s where everything was really hard.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it's like, our parents grew up in a different time and I have a tumultuous relationship with my parents where I could literally tell them that I'm not okay or I'm being bullied or I'm this or I'm that. And it was just like swept under the rug and expected to just kind of like get over it.
Yeah.
And, it wasn't until I was in my 20s when I was like diagnosed with full-blown anxiety, depression, and really started getting the help that I needed because I think also to a lot of people of that generation, I'm so glad this wasn't your mum, but it obviously was your teachers and whoever else was around you then. It was like having those diagnoses was seen as a weakness or that there was something wrong with you and that's not the case. It's like I could have had a little bit of help back then and my whole trajectory would have been different.
Yeah.
So, I think that's a really funny thing. And I guess like that's probably another thing to talk about with you. Just knowing you so well is like you've overcome a lot of adversity in your life.
Yes.
And tell me about what happened for you at age 23. 23 is a very strange year for you. Daisy's 23. You're 23.
Literally,
okay.
I had this discussion with somebody the other day. It was
weirdly like intergalactically connected there. But
So when I was 23, I oh gosh, I'm going to cry. I don't know why.
Let it out.
I tell this story all the time. Oh. Sorry, I'll tell the whole story.
Yeah,
so
go.
It was
Start at the top.
It was AFL Grand Final Day 2018.
Oh my God, do we need to make mention of the fact that you're a fucking North Melbourne supporter?
Yeah, die hard.
Wooden spoon AFL team.
Shut up. Hey. Well, it's our year this year, mark my words.
Oh yeah, you've said that. Yeah, you've been finished in 16th, 17th the last few years.
So it was AFL Grand Final Day, which
Yeah.
is literally my religious day.
Yeah.
I pray to God every year.
Yeah.
On that day. It's the only day I'm religious.
Yeah, moments before this podcast, you're telling me not religion, and now you're just like, but AFL is the religion.
Is religion I pray. So I remember I was sitting watching the football and my left eye, whenever I would move it, would hurt. And I was like, this is odd. But I just let it go. And then as the days kind of went on, it was getting worse and I was starting to go blind in my left eye. And I was like, oh, well, whatever. And my mum was like, you have to go to the doctor. And I was like,
Most people would be dying of concern if that was happening to them. Be like, man.
I was like, So I was like, fuck. Okay. So I went to the GP, I went to the doctor, and he was looking in my eye and he goes, I can't really see anything in it. Go to the optometrist straight away. So I went to the optometrist and he put like a x-ray behind my eye and he goes, you're going to have to go to the emergency room straight away. I'm like, what's going on? Am I having a stroke? Like, what is this? Like, can you tell me? He goes, I can't say anything what it is. You just have to go to the emergency room. I was like, so I go
Great, I've got to go and sit in emergency for 4 hours
literally,
now. And then, yeah.
So I get to Geelong Emergency and I've called mum like crying, like, I think I'm having a stroke. So she's rushed in and I get to
go to stroke.
I know. I
Straight away you go to cancer or stroke. Yeah.
So I get in and they take my blood pressure and I tell them what's happening behind my eye. And I'm thinking, I'm going to be here for hours. But no, I'm like put straight in and I'm surrounded by doctors and nurses. I'm like, oh my God, what's happening?
That's really concerning.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, this is scary now. Like I'm actually full on petrified. And an ophthalmologist, which is an eye specialist, came in and they have like a little eye area down in emergency. And he takes me in there. He looks behind my eyes and he goes, is there a history of MS in your family? And I'm like, no.
Not that I know of,
Yeah. He's like, oh, okay, that's interesting. I said, why? He goes, oh, no reasoning. He goes, we're just going to put you in for an MRI tomorrow and we'll see what's happening. And I start to panic.
And you got admitted or you went home and then came back?
No, I went home and I came back for the MRI.
Yep.
And in the meantime, I'm starting to look up MS. I'm like, okay, MS, eye problems. And I'm learning that optic neuritis, which is what I had, can often be the first sign of MS. And I'm like, can I swear?
Oh my God.
With you. What the fuck? I'm like, holy fuck. And I'm like, okay, do I have MS? And my mum was there and she was like, no, you don't have MS because you would be more
symptomatic or whatever.
It's not MS. Like, shut up. You're being dramatic. So I do the MRI the next day, which was the Tuesday or the Wednesday. And then by the Friday, I was back getting my results. And I remember it was the Friday afternoon. I was the last patient of the day for the doctor to see me. So I was seeing the ophthalmologist and we're waiting. And then we go in finally. And I'm just waiting. So I built it up in my head. I'm like, I know it's MS. And then I'm waiting. And then he comes in, he gets me, and he was sitting there and I opened up the results. And then another doctor comes in. He's like, can I talk to you? So he goes out. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, please just tell me what's happening to me. And he comes in and he goes, and they're always so brutal.
But I mean, they have to be. You don't want them to sugarcoat it either.
No, he's like, so you've got lesions on your brain and your spine and you've got MS. He's like, I can't tell you anything. I'm not a neurologist.
Oh my God, all my hair's just stood up there.
Have a good weekend. So you kind of go into this fight or flight
and
mode.
you're Friday afternoon going, okay.
I'm like, what does this mean? He goes, I can't tell you anything. I don't know. I don't know.
You just got to get changed to the right specialist that can kind of go into it a little bit more.
So I remember looking across when my mum was with me and I've never seen my mum, her face. I've never seen anything like that.
Colour drained out.
Yeah, she was just... I would never want to see it again. But I just went into this fight or flight. Okay, what do we do now? What's next? What happens? I just went into like this traumatic, like, help me sort of thing. And it was 3 weeks until the neurologist got to see me. So those 3 weeks were kind of like, what's my MS look like? Will I be in a wheelchair in 5 years? How is this going to progress? I knew nothing about it.
So am I correct that multiple sclerosis
It's a hard word.
Do you know what? When I look at it and when I say it when I'm not on being filmed, I say it fine. But
sclerosis. Yeah,
it can be really differently symptomatic for everybody who has it. Is that right?
Exactly, yeah. So I was diagnosed with relapsing and remitting MS. So that's kind of the lightest form of it.
Yep.
And medication these days is absolutely incredible. So what it does is it can't cure it, but it can stop it from progressing.
Yeah, right.
So
it's like it just kind of presses pause on where it is at the moment. It doesn't get worse.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. People that have progressive MS are quite often, wheelchair bound. They can't use the toilet.
One of our school teachers had it and it was diagnosed really late.
Yeah.
And she ended up in a wheelchair as well. And then I just remember her kind of never coming back to school one day. And obviously we were little, we didn't really know what it was, but we had a whole education day around it where they showed us about like what it looks like on a spinal cord. And they had like this cord where they'd cut lesions in it. And It was crazy. And I just remember them sort of showing a few different videos of, this is going back to like 8, 9, 10-year-old me, like young. But I remember them sort of saying that it can look different for everybody.
Yeah.
There must be a part of you that's grateful that you got such a strong symptom that kind of prompted you to go and get it.
So lucky. Because
Yeah.
I know people that fight.
I hate calling people with chronic illness lucky, but I'm like, your body gave you a message.
Because I know people that fight for 10 years for a diagnosis, and by then it's so far progressed that they can't come back from it. So I was so lucky that I had a good team at Geelong Hospital that were straight onto it. That, you know, so even though it was the most unlucky thing to be diagnosed with, I feel blessed that I got diagnosed so young. But my lesions on my brain were quite old. So I'd been living with MS for probably about 5 or 6 years.
What's the cause?
They don't really know.
Okay, but it's obviously genetic.
It's genetic.
Can you trace it back anywhere?
I have a lot of chronic illness in my family. So I have fibromyalgia, I have arthritis. So that kind of helps. It's also known as a rich person's disease. So I wish. Can I get the rich?
Yeah, could we have the money? Thanks.
Yeah. So it's more prominent in Western cultures.
Really?
I think it's because of the food that we eat and the stressful lives that we lead.
It's got to be something to do with all the steroids and all the crap in our food these days. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
that's not just for MS, for everything.
For everything.
Yeah.
Yes. So it was a massive, traumatic, horrific time of my life. It was just horrible. It was horrifying. I remember I would wake. So the first couple of weeks, I remember I would wake up and have a couple of seconds of feeling okay, and then I'd remember what was happening in my life, and I would wake up and I felt like I was walking into a nightmare of just like, and I would be angry at everybody. I'd be angry at people.
And very, why me?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, and just fuming.
How did you kind of process that, or I guess come to terms with your diagnosis?
It probably took a good year for me to accept it. So the year anniversary was when I think I was able to start talking about it.
Yeah, right.
Outside of my circle.
Yep.
Because whenever I would tell people about it, I'd get the sympathy of, oh, I'm so sorry. Or I can't imagine if that was happening to me. Never say that to anybody that's diagnosed with something. Never say I can't imagine.
I'm usually just like, can I please give you a hug? I don't know what to say to you.
Yeah, it's just, I felt so sad and they would make me feel sadder. So I was just like, I'm going to keep this to myself.
It's like when someone passes away and you don't know what to say and you don't want to make them cry or think about it again. So you're just like, come here.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
So I think I really turned to my mum's very spiritual. She's a Reiki master. And so I've grown up around spirituality.
She gave Reiki to my dog once.
Did she?
Yeah, she came into the office and Jed was there and she's like, do you mind if I give you a bit of Reiki? I was like, no, this is amazing. And I just sat there. He was so calm. He just was like sitting there like, just chill ass.
She's very good at what she does. So I grew up around that kind of stuff, but I never really believed in it. I didn't really care when I was in my early 20s.
Because she's psychic medium or something as well, isn't she?
She is kind of, but she is more Reiki.
Yeah,
she's very psychic. Like,
she
knows things. And I'm like, oh, don't know that about me.
She sees signs. Yeah, I love that. Don't tell me what's going on.
Yeah, please. I don't want to know. But when I was diagnosed, I was floundering. I was just so scared and so lost. So I started to kind of look into things like Wayne Dyer and Louise Hay. If you know
oh my God.
people.
You Can Heal Your Life. Is that hers? Yes.
Yeah.
I remember reading that. I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, as you know, and endometriosis, and it's quite severe. It's gotten worse as I've gotten older. And so I went through this phase when I was sort of in my mid-20s where I came off all contraception because I was kind of doing a lot of research, understanding actually like the implications of how that shows up later in life for women. And, you know, the medical research, I guess, is kind of hidden and sheltered because they don't want anything sort of coming out. But I was doing a lot of work and a lot of healing and a lot of like seeing a naturopath and like doing a lot of those things that you were kind of working through as well. And I was recommended to read some of her books. They were life-changing. Yeah. I'm with you.
It literally changed my life. It changed my mindset around, because I think I was a negative person when I was diagnosed. I was a bit seeing everything.
It's scary and horrible. And I think it must, like, obviously can't speak from experience here. Polycystic ovarian syndrome and endometriosis, you kind of know how that's going to look for you. Like, you know sort of what the potential things that are happening, but MS is so random.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And that must be really scary. The unknown must be scary.
It still is.
Yeah.
So I knew that if I was going to survive this, I remember, I've told this story before. I remember I was driving down the road probably about 2 months after I was diagnosed. And I thought to myself, it was like a fork on the road. And I thought to myself, I'm either going to fight this and make my better person from it, or I'm going to give in. And I literally had that.
There's a fork in the road.
Yeah, I was literally there. I was like, what am I going to do? Because I can't keep going down this. I need to do something. And I thought, fuck it, I'm going to fight it. I'm going to become a better person from it. And I did. So I literally completely shifted my mindset. And
do you feel that you probably also didn't want to go back to like, you know, all those negative thoughts and things that you had
Yes.
when you were younger as
Yeah.
well? I mean, I love you now. Like, I don't know you then. And I,
Yeah.
you know, obviously I knew you then because you were working with me, but I've never known you to be a negative person.
Yeah,
I think
but
you're
I
like one
was.
of the happiest, positive people I've ever met in my life. And I love that about
And
you.
I'm not toxic positive. When things are shit, things are shit.
Yes, I agree.
Like I've spent 20 days in hospital out of the past month. That was fucking shit.
Yeah. So how does I want to talk about that too, because I think we both kind of laugh at each other and send each other messages like, what's
Yeah.
going on? I'm like, oh, I've got, 3 cysts the size of grapefruits on my ovary right now.
Yeah.
How are you? Sick. And you're like, cool, I've been in hospital for 16 days now and I've got a nude man next to me, keeps shooting the bed. And I'm like, yeah, good,
Yeah,
nice.
fun.
How does your MS show up for you now?
So my MS is completely controlled. I actually saw my neurologist yesterday, so I can give you the facts.
Love this. We've got a good update.
Yeah. So my MS is completely controlled, but I've been on really intense medication for the past 6 years. I've been on Ocrevus. So what that means is I go into the hospital every 6 months and get an infusion.
Yeah.
And what Ocrevus does is it completely kills your immune system.
Yeah,
So
okay.
the first couple of years on it, I was okay. But about 3 years ago, I got pneumonia really badly. And ever since then, it's completely killed my lungs.
And you're like so susceptible to things now.
I pick up everything. And every time I get an
Wow.
infection, I've got to go straight into the Geelong hospital and
Yeah.
be pumped full of medication. So I got an infection in early January and that turned into pneumonia. So that's how it's impacting me, is that I get really sick really easily. So thankfully, the neurologists have now seen how sick I get and we're going to change my medication to something that's not so immune killing.
Yep.
So I'm very excited
Hopefully
about that.
still like keeps the symptoms at bay.
Yes,
And
that's the goal of it, is to keep MS completely stable because it has not changed at all in the past 6 years. I haven't grown any lesions.
That's amazing.
Yes, I haven't had a relapse, nothing. So it's incredible, but it's the other stuff that comes with the medication that's makes
the
it
side effects
really-
of it.
Yeah.
Is there any other side effects that you can get from those things?
Well, yeah, it's not pleasant. So it can cause cancer. It can do all these different things. So
Yeah.
it was a big, when I was diagnosed and I heard about these different side effects, it was a big thing for me to sit there and go, what do I do? Do I take it? So I thought about it. I'm a big believer in Western medicine with a mixture of holistic health.
Same, sis.
Like,
I'm right there with you.
I would
The
never
technology, the
yeah.
science, everything we have
Yes.
now is absolutely
Yes.
unbelievable. But I also think there needs to be other things with that too.
Yeah, I trust, especially my neurologist. I've seen him now for 6 years. I trust him.
Yeah.
And I now know he sees me when I'm really sick and he goes, okay, we need to change this now. We need to
Yep.
change things up. So MS is stable. MS is going okay.
Yep.
Knock on wood.
Yeah.
But it's the medication that's really, it's nearly killed me 3 times. I've been in hospital dying.
It's
so
insane, isn't it? And it's kind of like, we recorded a podcast the other day that was about like, how bad do you want it? And it's much similar. It's like you sit there and you read all the, like, you know what your symptoms are, you know what the outcome that you want is, and you sit there and you read all the possibilities of what could happen to you, and you're just like, okay, let's make a decision.
yeah, it was. And so the new medication I'm on, I'll be completely honest. So it's a 2 year. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking tablets for a week at home. It's orally, fantastic, no needles.
Love.
Then I have 5 weeks off and then I take another week of tablets. And that's it for 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So it's like a six-week cycle.
Yeah, but the thing is, those 2 years, I can't fall pregnant. Not accidentally, not try and have a baby. Those 2 years, 2.5 years.
Contraceptive
really.
is off the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm kind of out.
Sorry,
to
like
account.
medical contraceptive. Obviously,
Yes.
there are other options, but
Well,
yes.
Yeah. Well,
One would hope.
so that's what it's going to do. It's going to cut out 2 years of my, if I want to have a baby in the next 2 years, it's just not going to happen. So that's a scary thought. But at the same time, I can't keep getting pneumonia. I'm going to die.
Yeah.
It's like, well, so, in 2 years, if I decide to maybe get my eggs frozen, or in 2 years I'm in a
Yeah.
relationship.
Is that something you're thinking about?
I think so, and it might be.
Oh, God. All I can say is buckle in for that.
Look, I'm so used to
Yeah.
I'm used to needles and
Yeah.
shit. And
I think it's so smart. And, looking back, I wish I had have done it when I was in my early 20s or like, earlier on in life, even under 30 is just like a different ball game. But
well, I'll be 32 by the time I can do it.
yeah,
So,
amazing. Yeah. And like we still get a great result. I still get lots of eggs, you know, but it's a whole other thing. But I think it's just like the best safety net ever.
Well, I think if I stay on this medication, so I've got the 2.5 years that I'm on it, and then I can get my eggs frozen or have a baby if I'm in a different place than I'm in now. But then say, okay, I'm not in a relationship. I get my eggs frozen. It's another 2.5 years until I can fall pregnant. So that's going to take me into 35. So then things are starting to get harder and harder.
Shut up,
and harder.
Cass.
No, but things start to get harder.
Yeah.
So,
I'm a geriatric pregnancy now.
Yes,
if I get
that's
pregnant,
it, right? Is that
it's great.
horrific?
It's great.
Geriatric? What is this?
Yeah, literally over 35.
That's horrible.
My doctor is awesome and he doesn't like to call you by age. He says how many birthdays you've had. He's like, so we've had 35 birthdays now.
It's like, thank you.
I love that.
They asked me when I was the nurses asked me, do you have kids? And I was like, no, I'm too young. I'm only 30. What are you talking about? I'm a teenager.
Like, I always think that though. I'm like, oh my God, yeah, I still feel 21. And then I have a conversation with an actual 21-year-old. I'm like, yeah, no.
I'm
absolutely not.
21. You guys are immature.
I feel like you've turned your adversity and I guess turned your pain into gain. You are a multiple sclerosis Australia ambassador.
Yeah.
You have been invited to Parliament House.
Yes.
What's happening?
So last November I was invited to Parliament House. They had a MS Australia and Netflix talk.
Yeah.
There's a
Can we watch it?
Yeah, there's a movie on Netflix called
amazing.
Take My Hand.
Yes.
And it's a movie that MS Australia helped to, I think they helped produce it
Yep.
or fund it or
Yep.
get it out there.
Yep.
And it's about, living with MS. Mm-hmm. So it's a drama, so it's not a documentary. And so I was really lucky to be invited to Parliament House and go there and meet MS Australia CEO and the NDIS senator was there. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Because when I was diagnosed, I was just so adamant that I wouldn't tell anybody. I was ashamed of it. I was ashamed of I felt weak, and I just
I understand that.
to change people's perception of me.
Yeah.
But
It also sounds like you didn't really know anybody who had MS
No, I
either.
didn't.
Like you were like, cool, I'm 23. I'm young.
I'm young.
Yeah.
And I have this old lady's disease.
Yeah.
Which is not true.
I only know of adult people that have it. Yeah.
But it's actually very much a young person's disease. But people just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
So when I started to talk about it and started to hear people talking back to me about it, I was like, oh, okay, people live with this and they want to hear my story. They want to hear other people living with it because it's a really hard disease to live with. And if you don't know anybody else, you don't know anybody living with it and you don't see anybody living with it in a positive way, it's horrifying. So that's kind of become my passion now, is to go, hey, I have it. It can be really fucking hard. And there are days where I cannot get out of bed.
Totally.
And I just want to scream and cry and punch the pillow, and I do. But then there are days where I'm rocking it and I'm doing really cool things.
Oh my God, hard. I feel like it's like some days you're 12 out of 10, other days you're like 1 out of 10. And you can even have that change in a day. So it's like you can be like on in the morning and then in the afternoons you're like, I'm Cactus.
Yeah,
like,
go to bed.
Yeah. And it's the inconsistency must be hard to manage with your type of life.
Yeah, and people don't understand it. I've lost so many. My best friends that I had in my early 20s now are no longer in my life because
you outgrew them, you outshone them.
And they just couldn't understand how one day I could be okay and the next I couldn't. And they would think I didn't want to be with them. Or I was like, please listen to me. I love you. I just can't drive to Melbourne today. Yeah. I love you. I can't do this today. And
totally.
Friendships just fell apart. And it's hard and people don't understand what they don't live with. It's just, I don't understand what you live with. You don't.
Yeah, but you can, I just feel like, you're such a compassionate person and you can still hold space for people even if you don't understand. And I feel like it's ask questions and learn more. I'm very blessed. I have a very empathetic husband, very empathetic staff. My friends are also amazing where I'm just like, I just can't do it this weekend. I'm so sorry. And, your people will come into your life and,
I'm building a circle now that
I can tell.
Yeah, I'm very lucky, but it's taken a while. It's taken to my late 20s, early 30s.
I don't feel that I found my people until moved into state and sort of like really put myself out there to put myself around a new friend circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Small town vibes. People don't get it. Well, on that, I thank you so much for sharing all of that. I think it's a really beautiful, powerful insight to kind of learn about the inner workings of it and how it's shown up for you. And also just so proud of you for like conquering everything that you have and just getting up and getting it done.
Thank you.
One of the other accomplishments I really want to talk about, which is so fucking cool, is Hollywoodland Photos.
Yay.
I did some research. You have over 270,000 followers on Instagram, and I stalked some of the followers. Now, we have the likes of Ariana Grande, Lisa Rinna, Nancy Sinatra, Joan Collins, Sharon Stone. You have 49,000 followers on TikTok. Now, I'm not on TikTok, so you might need to talk to me about that, but tell me about Hollywoodland Photos. It's such a beautiful and random hobby to have, but
I know.
I love it.
It's becoming a bit of its own empire now, which is really cool.
You did that.
I know. So I started it maybe in like 2015 because Instagram was taking off, but I didn't want to be on Instagram myself because I was shy and anxious.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't want to post pictures of myself. But I've always been passionate about old Hollywood. I've always loved Marilyn Monroe and Audrey Hepburn. So I thought to myself, well, I want to be on Instagram. I want to follow my friends. So I'll just like post a picture of Grace Kelly. I don't know why. I was 20. I don't know why I did it. And overnight, I got like 1,000 followers.
Insane.
Which is a different time.
Yeah.
We can't get that these days.
Yeah.
But it was like,
can and do, I will say. But yeah. But
I thought to myself, maybe there's something here. Maybe I should just make this page and just post what I like.
Yep.
And I grew to about 42,000 followers by 2017, which is amazing. But it was a hobby. It wasn't anything more.
Yeah.
Than that. It was nothing. But then about 2 years ago, I went viral on a reel when reel like reached 3 million people. And
insane.
From that, I went from 42,000 followers to 100,000 followers within like a month. It was just like.
What was the reel?
It was a picture of Fred Astaire dancing.
Oh my God, I love that.
And it was a really bad.
I don't even buy content. Like.
It was a really bad quality reel. It wasn't even good. I thought nothing of it. I'm like, yeah, let's post this. And it literally went insane.
That's wild.
So yeah, and then from that, so I hit 100,000, and from that, Instagram kept pushing my content out further and further and further. And then about 2 months later, I shared a post of Bewitched, and I like to share facts about things, so I shared a post.
I know, but I love that. I find it really interesting. I love that when you fixate on something, you like research it. You go like, you're just like, you're in the rabbit hole.
So I shared a picture of Bewitched, and Ariana Grande somehow found it and liked it and followed me and then shared it. And when she shares things go insane.
I love.
So when Ariana Grande followed me, like all the Ariana Grande Twitter accounts were like updating about like Ariana Grande's followed Hollywoodland Photos and stuff like that. I was like, so from that, it just kept growing and growing and growing. So, but yeah, I have like Ryan Reynolds shared my post. I have like the weirdest people liking and sharing my stuff. I'm like, Lindsay Lohan shared my post overnight. I'm like, okay. Cool.
Yeah, and I mean, I love Renna. I love Renna.
Oh,
big Renna fan.
I've
my
been
God,
trying so hard to get her attention for years. I've been trying to get her attention, and then
post something of her.
Yeah, exactly. But then it was like this year she followed me. I was like, I woke up. I was like, fucking.
I remember you sharing it. I was like, you've made it. You've made it.
I've waited so long for this. Oh my God. So
Renna, if you don't know, is Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. You should watch it. It's the best show.
The best. I was like, thank you, God. So, and it's opened up so many doors for me. Like,
yeah, so talk about that. Like it started obviously just a passion page, something on Instagram.
Yeah.
You're kind of learning a new social platform, which is a media girly you froth.
Yes.
So explain a little bit about the doors that it's open now. Like,
I mean, it's got me on Today Extra talking about my life, which is so fucking random. It's people take notice of you when you have a large following, which I don't understand, but they do. If they think it's fun, they think it's cool, especially with the people that follow me. They're like, oh my God, Ariana Grande follows you. You must be cool. I'm like, no, I'm not.
It's kind of like, you're hanging out with the cool kids.
Yeah,
you know?
no, I'm not. Yeah. And so I've been able to interview some really cool people that you wouldn't. Gary Cooper was one of the biggest stars of old Hollywood. So he's obviously passed away, but his daughter, I've interviewed her, which was amazing. She's got on the camera and his 3 Oscars were sitting behind her.
Oh my God.
I'm like, oh my God.
I love you. Like, fuck the actor. I want an Oscar.
And now I'm hosting in-person movie events, so we're doing screenings and stuff like that.
I've seen some amazing
Q&As and just the people I'm getting to talk to. And I had a publicist from Los Angeles reach out to me yesterday wanting to do an exhibition with me, my help. I'm like, I'll do that.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll pay for it. I don't care. I'll be there.
I'll pay you to let me do it. So, and the more it grows, the bigger it gets and the more opportunities just keep, because I'm a filmmaker as well. And
I was going to say, it ties in really well with everything else you're doing with your own productions and your own things like that. And the best thing about this is, I guess, with something that's a passion page, you're kind of like, you're gaining off other people's content and photos and things, which is awesome. But also with that, you can then like drip your own stuff in there.
That's it.
You're obviously a famous Hollywood galley now.
Yeah. But I get to like get on there and talk about, so I get on there and film reels of me talking about, you know, Audrey Hepburn and stuff like that. And I get the attention of like Audrey Hepburn's son and things like that. It's really cool to kind of grow my brand from something that wasn't me at all.
It's amazing.
And it wasn't how it started. It wasn't at all what I wanted, but then it kind of grew and I'm like, okay, maybe it is time to get my face on there and start making myself a Hollywood expert.
Yeah, and you love it. It's something you're passionate about. What I guess started the interest in the golden era of Hollywood?
I grew up watching those films, so it kind of started from my nan. So my nan loved old Hollywood. It wasn't old Hollywood for her, it was Hollywood.
Yeah, that was Nan's time.
Yeah, it was actually her era. So, she had a passion for that era of film and passed it on to my mum, and then my mum passed it on to me. So every Saturday night, mum and I would sit and watch an old Hollywood black and white film growing up.
That's so cute. What a nice memory.
Yeah, it really is. It was a comforting thing for me. And I literally love that era. I love anything from the 30s to the 60s. I love those films. So I guess in a way it was a nice comforting memory, but it was also, I love the art behind these films. I love the actors. I love the stories behind these films. I love how these films were made. And I love history. I'm passionate about history.
Yeah.
So it all kind of ties into what I love. But these films they're so smart, and a lot of them are ahead of their time. And if you even go,
the special effects and things are so cool from back then too, like how they did things.
Like Wizard of Oz and all that. You're like, that's so cute. And I was always, I was doing a film with a young actress last year, and she's 16 and she didn't know who James Dean was. And I was like, oh, that's why I'm doing what I do. I try to keep old Hollywood alive.
Yeah.
The younger generation.
It's so funny how it's just like a completely different world, isn't it?
I mean, how can you're an actor and you don't know who James Dean is?
Yeah.
Like, you have to respect your elders and who came before you and made
the
things.
people who paved this pathway for you.
Yeah. So, and I find it fascinating. It's all so fascinating.
I love that everything you post is like just really like just interesting fun facts about people.
Yeah.
It's always from a really beautiful place. Like I love that it's like glamorous, beautiful, positive magazine, but it's not like the gossipy, crappy things. It's just like all from a place of beauty and respect and love.
Absolutely.
And yeah, like you said, keeping everything alive.
And I think that's why, I mean, I have all the old Hollywood estates follow me, like the James Dean estate, the Humphrey Bogart estate, they all follow me, and it's really nice to kind of have the approval.
Have you ever been over and like seen it all? You need to go over and like go to.
Oh, I have been, when I was younger, but I planned to go in April. That was my plan, but then I got sick. So I'm hoping to go over in September.
Oh my God, amazing. Yeah, you need to go over and just like film some of your content from over there.
I know. So yeah, it's been the loveliest unexpected surprise, and now it's literally becoming
you called it in
empire. Like it's becoming like I'm building a brand off it, which is really cool.
Yeah, amazing. I love that you have this interest in such like a beautiful, glamorous, amazing time, and then you're a kangaroo supporter.
Shut up.
Where, I guess, do you see Hollywoodland going, or where do you see you taking it, or like what's the next steps with it? Or
so we're definitely taking it offline, which is really cool. So doing in-person events and all
yes.
that, and taking it. We've started in Geelong.
I feel like that's pretty cool though, like because it's kind of that time there wasn't any social, there wasn't even phones. Do you know what I mean? So it's so cool to be starting to bring back some of those old school values.
Yeah. So taking it offline, doing screenings, and at the end of the screenings, I get up and do a Q&A about the film. So I, give tidbits and stuff like that.
Love.
And I want to take it over to Los Angeles and do in-person stuff over there. And I've got the YouTube channel, so I get on and do like little episodes about films.
Yes,
and
we're going to tag all these in the show notes afterwards as well, guys. So you can go and check out Cass.
Please do. Please subscribe.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just want to keep growing it and make it a universe, get people on board that want to, write, want to do podcasts, want to do things like that, because it's such a massive, industry. It's such a massive world that people can join.
And what's next on the cards for you for Daisy Productions?
So we're making the feature Daisy.
Amazing.
We're currently writing that. I've got the first draft done.
Can you talk a little bit about what the process of writing is like, or how long you expect this project to take, or, talk a bit about that process?
It's I guess, how long is a piece of string?
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. I have things I'm like, I can get that out next month, 7 months later, still not done.
Truly, like my own fear is holding me back from actually getting it written. I'm like, oh, the first draft's done. No.
What's your fear?
I think fear of success.
Oh, yeah, I have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know it can be successful. I know it can grow.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll just leave that over there. I think also my fear, and this might be interesting for people, my fear is doing something and it's not good, and then it's like, didn't work out. But if I have it in the future and I know it's going to happen in my mind, I'm like, yep, that's going to happen in the future. That's great. But if it's done, then do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, but do you not think that you'll do that and then you'll do the next thing?
Yeah, I know. we're already my production partners, we already have another feature film we're making too, which I can't speak too much about.
That's okay.
It's a Hollywood inspired Australian film.
I love.
Yeah, and that's really amazing. That's definitely happening, because I've actually got them being like, come on, we're going to do this. I'm like, okay.
I think it's something that's like, we all have a lot of similar opportunities when we're from a similar place, sort of a similar, upbringing and that sort of thing. We all have very similar opportunities that come our way, but we have to have the guts and the, bravado to actually take the step through it. Like the door's there, you've got to step through it.
Yeah.
And you've created that. You've called this in. You've done it.
Yeah, I think when I was diagnosed, I always knew life was short. I've had a lot of people die around me young. My uncle died at 23 from a drunk driver. One of my close friends died at 20 in a car accident. So I always knew life was short, but I never knew how precious it was. So life can be long but precious. So your health can go at any second.
Well, what do they say too? It's like the average lifespan is 76. So it's like, or 70 something, and it's
Yeah.
like, or 72 it might even be. So it's like middle age is actually 36.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was such a wake-up call to me to be like, okay, I might live till I'm 80, but I could be in a wheelchair from 30. So I was like, okay, this gives me the guts and the push to do what I want.
Yeah, it was like the
every
motivator.
day by the balls and be like, fuck it, I've got nothing to lose. Because I've nearly lost this. I've lost this most important thing to each person, which is our good health. If without our good health, we're nothing.
I feel like you're taking it in your stride.
So
You're doing what you can with it.
trying. So yeah, and I think one of the things I always do, no matter how bad a day is, I always try and find the good in every day.
That's really nice.
Even if I've spent that day in hospital with someone snoring their head off next to me, I'll find the good in that day.
Yeah, I think it's like something that we try and do always, you know, in our coaching business with our clients and even with my employees. It's like we always try to do something that's like, I guess it's even more important on the worst days. Like on the bad days, it's more important to find the glimmer or to find the happiness or to find the gratitude in that moment. And it's the hardest thing to do when you're like spiraling and you're feeling like crap and you're tired and you're sick in your case. And, you know, it's even more important than ever to just be like, okay, cool. What's happening that's good right now? What's happening that I'm grateful for?
Yeah.
What's the glimmer in this day or this moment?
And none of it's been easy. People think, oh, it's easy for you because you're a positive person. I wasn't a positive person. I saw the negative.
I just can't imagine it.
I thought I was bad at everything. I thought my life was bad. I thought I had no future. But I literally had to change my brain so slowly through meditation, through just listening to Wayne Dyer and Louise Hay and belief that there is better out there, because somehow there always is. And even through the worst situations possible, something good comes out of it. There's a reason for
There's something better on the way.
Yeah. And it might be really hard to see at the time, but it does get better.
And I also hate that saying of like first world problems, because it's like your first world problems are still actually your problems.
They're still problems.
Yeah. And it's like sort of this like catch-22 really, where sometimes it's like, you know, this ain't that bad. There's people that have got it worse. But then it's also that you've got to, like you said earlier, sit in that and be like, well, no, this is really affecting me.
This is shit.
Yeah, this is shit. I just
Yeah.
need to sit in this and just realize how shit this is for a minute. And I'm going to complain and I'm going to be angry and I'm going to let the emotions go through me.
Yes.
I don't need to repress it and sit there and do that. But I also feel like sometimes it's a glimmer to be like, you know, this could be worse.
Our problems are I have friends say to me, well, I can't complain to you because you've got MS. I'm like, please complain to me.
Yeah.
Your problems are your problems. I'm your friend.
Yeah.
Like all our issues are our own, and they're hard now in their own ways. It doesn't matter what kind of stakes they're at.
Yeah, I remember one of my friends passed away. He was 35, passed away from cancer, and I randomly spoke to him. We were just messaging one day and he's like, oh, how are you? I was like, well, I can't complain to you. He's like, please complain to me. Everyone's treating me like a sick person.
Yeah. It's like,
and I was like,
complain to me.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I want to hear your problems, please.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, I think you're amazing. I think everything you're doing is amazing. I'm so proud of you, and I just love watching you flourish and shine and do all these amazing things. And thank you so much for being so candid and speaking so openly about, you know, MS, about your life, about the incredible women in your life. Where can people watch Daisy? Where can people follow you? Where do we keep up with Cass?
So go to Hollywoodland Photos on Instagram. That's where everything kind of is happening.
Yep.
And Cassidy Krygger on Instagram too is my personal page. And you can watch Daisy on YouTube now. So we've had 22,000 views, which I'm really excited about. And it's on the Hollywoodland Photos YouTube channel. So
awesome.
Please subscribe. It's really hard to get subscribers on YouTube.
I think I have 20.
Oh my gosh. You can get an Instagram follow-up, but subscribers, people are like, no, I won't subscribe.
Which is so weird because it doesn't cost anything. It's just
just
a follow.
please subscribe to my freaking YouTube channel, please. It helps me.
There you go. Subscribe to our freaking YouTube channel, okay? Thank you so much, darling. I'm so grateful to have you on here today. And yeah, I just look forward to seeing what you're doing next.
Yay, thank you.